Is the bull market over? This is a question a ton of people have been asking themselves in fear of the answer as the crypto market continues to nuke. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Crypto Gorilla video. Today, I want to zoom out and take a look at what has been happening, why we're dumping, and try to figure out, is the crypto bull run officially over? Now, as usual, nothing in this video is financial advice. It is just my opinion. And if you haven't already done so, would you kindly hit that subscribe button? So what's happening? Is the bull market over? I thought we were supposed to see 100K Bitcoin, 10K ETH, 1K Sol, and 30K XRP. We had a ton of positive news with BlackRock steering the ship for Bitcoin with the Bitcoin ETF approval, ETH ETF approval right around the corner. So why are we dumping and where is all the buy pressure? Well, there are multiple reasons on why we have been dumping over the last week, and they're probably not what you think. So let's take a look at the trending topics that have been going around to figure out, are these concerns valid or are you just getting fudded out of your hard-earned Bitcoin? So by now, I'm sure you've heard that the government of Germany has been dumping the Bitcoin that they confiscated from some hackers. If we go on Arkham and we take a look at how much Bitcoin they had back in June, this was roughly $3.4 billion, and today it is at 2.2 billion. So they have offloaded roughly 1/3 of their bag, meaning they still have 2/3 of it left, $2.2 billion that they are potentially going to flood the market with in the short term. Now, I did see this post saying, hey, Germany is buying back their crypto. They changed their mind. It turns out that this is false. They were just sending their crypto back into their wallet. So it looks like at least they understand that not your keys, not your crypto. Never keep your crypto on a centralized exchange, but they don't understand that you're not supposed to nuke this much into an exchange in one shot because they are devaluing the value of their own bag. If they just take their time to sell it or wait, it would be worth a lot more. And I did hear a lot of conspiracy theories around this, which we're not going to get into, but some of them are that they want to hurt Bitcoin because it's anti-government, but all of that doesn't matter. What matters is the price has been going down ever since we hit above $70,000. Now, to top off all of the Germany FUD, we also had FUD coming in from Mt. Gox. This is actually the 4th time Mt. Gox FUD has affected us. Typically, they do mark the bottom whenever this FUD happens, but it does seem like potentially this time it's actually deserved, as they have finally transferred some crypto. If you don't know Mt. Gox, it was an OG exchange. It stands for Magic the Gathering Online Exchange. So it was literally a Magic the Gathering, the trading card game exchange that eventually turned into a Bitcoin exchange as people had nowhere else to trade their Bitcoin. This was early Bitcoin days, and there was some hacks and people couldn't get their money out. Years later, finally, they are going to be redistributing that crypto back to the owners, which a lot of people are worried about because the people who had that crypto, they essentially dime in hand. They had no choice. They held from very low prices all the way to now. So the value of their Bitcoin increased tens of thousands of dollars. So people are fearful that they are going to dump and take profits, and the exchange just transferred $2.7 billion into a wallet, signaling that they are getting ready to start doing these paybacks. And that is less than 30% of the amount that they have to pay back. They have over $9 billion in crypto that they're going to be paying back to the original owners. And if you think Germany selling was bad, they have over $3 billion to sell. Mt. Gox is 3 times what Germany holds. So that's going to be a ton more sell pressure, which brings up the next question. Does this really matter? Yes, I know 3 billion and 9 billion sound like big numbers, but when you just look at the trading volume for Bitcoin alone in the last 24 hours, it's $40 billion. So yes, if Germany and Mt. Gox were to dump their combined 12 or $13 billion in one clip, that would be pretty brutal for the market, and it would be hard to absorb all that sell pressure, but that's not what's happening. They are dumping in very small amounts, and the Mt. Gox dump hasn't even started yet. Now, if we look at the first few days of Germany selling, they were selling low 9 figures, which in the grand scheme of things, when you look at how much Bitcoin is flowing on exchanges, This is absolutely nothing. These numbers are completely irrelevant. Michael Saylor alone has had individual days where he comes in and buys over $800 million in Bitcoin. This is over 25% of Germany's entire stack that this single company has come in and purchased. Now, I understand he's not buying crypto every single day. That was just an example. But if we also turn to the Bitcoin ETF, all the institutional buyers that are coming in and buying crypto, and we look at how much money is flowing in there, you'll see once again, the numbers that we're seeing from Germany are completely irrelevant. If we look at the total amount that just the BlackRock ETF has purchased, it is almost $18 billion. Now, unfortunately, it is countered by the dumping that's happening with GBTC. However, if we combine all the ETFs together, it's a net positive of almost $15 billion. And if we filter it down to see the average daily of plus or minus, it is plus $122 million per day. That is more than Germany was selling on the first day. So I really do believe things are getting blown out of proportion here. The same thing applies to Mt. Gox. I did see this post in one of Invest Answers videos, amazing YouTube channel. I will link it down below. I watch every single one of his videos. And here he shows that the Mt. Gox payouts are not going to happen in one single transaction. It's going to be spread out over years. And then you also have to think, not everybody is going to be dumping their Bitcoin. So assuming only 50% of people are going to be selling their Bitcoin, it's really not that much. So at the end of the day, this FUD makes absolutely no sense. Now, like I said, the Mt. Gox depositors have not even started selling yet. So where is all the sell pressure coming from? Yes, we have Germany selling, but it's not like they're selling that much Bitcoin. Now, if we look at this other image by Invest Answers, you could see that a majority of the sellers are short-term holders, meaning they held for 3 months or less. So in other words, they essentially bought the top. Since for the last 3 months, we've been at 60K all the way up to 73K. So these are not true believers. These are just people trading short term. It's people who bought the top and started to panic as all the FUD was coming out, as they don't have the experience in the market. And I believe this also includes the liquidations that happened on Bitcoin longs. Here you can see it was the second largest liquidation event since FTX. So a ton of people getting nuked, a ton of people panic selling, which if you consider it in hindsight, if you sold at 62K Bitcoin, you can come back and buy even more Bitcoin now. But if you're just holding long-term, yes, these dumps can be painful. It is just part of the game though. It's just something you're gonna have to learn to deal with, as nothing is up only. If we take a look at this chart from one of the previous cycles back in 2017, you could see that there were 6 dumps of 30% or more on the way to all-time highs. And if you sold any of these, yes, you could have been a genius and maybe bought back, but maybe you sold, you waited for a lower price, and then you missed all of the price action going up. So for me personally, I'm just holding, at least for my long-term bags, especially that I don't want to initiate a tax event. And I'm not letting these moments FUD me out of my bag. So it's very much all about building a strong mental fortitude. And I did see some posts saying, if you are worried about this dip, you're over invested into the market. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think what's happening is a lot of people view crypto as their way out, right? Their way to escape the matrix. But their strategy here is just to buy, hold, and pray. So when they see the market nuking, they feel powerless, right? Because you give up power if all you're doing is buying and holding. You are at the whims of the market, and the market is going to swing. It's going to go up and down. So you're basically watching your dreams fade away as you watch your portfolio go down. But if that's your strategy, you just need to accept that this is how it's going to be, and the market is going to be volatile on the way to Valhalla. So what does all this mean? Are we up only from here? Is there going to be more downside? I have no idea, and really nobody knows. I saw a ton of posts calling like 61K is the bottom, mark my words. These are people just trying to make themselves feel better, trying to make you feel better, or just trying to get a good tweet where they could pin it and say, look, I called the bottom, I'm a genius. But it's pretty much just noise. So you can just ignore all of that and just ask yourself, if you're a long-term holder, do you still believe in crypto? Do you still believe Bitcoin is going over 100K, and you still believe that in 6 to 12 months time, we're going to be higher than where we currently are in terms of pricing? If the answer is yes, nothing has changed. So you have nothing to worry about. Now, on the other hand, you could take advantage of this moment to learn. Maybe next time you need to take profits when we're higher, maybe use this as an opportunity to reposition your altcoin bag. A ton of altcoins nuked like 30, 40, 50% over the last 30 days. So this is a good opportunity to cut your losers and put your money into the ones that you feel are going to be the winners. This is not like the 2021 cycle. In 2021, you could pretty much YOLO your money into any altcoin and you are going to be profitable. Now the game has changed and people are focusing on the main coins that can garner attention, not the main coins like XRP and Cardano just because they're up there in coin market cap, the main coins that are getting attention. As for NFTs, they did hold up pretty decent. The downside with NFTs is you're going to take a double hit. Not only is the value of your NFT in terms of ETH pricing going to go down, it goes down in dollar pricing as well because ETH goes down. So let's say you bought a Azuki at 4 ETH and it goes down to 3 ETH. Not only did you lose 1 ETH in value, the remaining 3 ETH is worth less because ETH went from 3,600 down to 2,900. So you take a double hit with NFTs, but that's all part of the risk. And the same thing happens when they go up in value. So to answer the question, do I believe this is the end of the bull market? For me personally, I do not. Keep in mind, I could be totally wrong. We can have a real estate crash. We can have a corporate debt bubble crash, an AI crash, whatever it is. But I'm willing to bet that the market is going to be priced higher in 6 to 12 months than where it is today. So I have no problem holding. And we also have a ton of positive news and catalysts coming up. It is an election year. And I believe no matter who the winner is, they are going to try to fluff the market. If it is Trump who ends up taking the throne, he has pretty much declared himself as the president that is pro crypto. And I did see this article. I'm not sure how legitimate this is, but it's been going around basically saying that Trump is considering the idea of buying Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset, which if the USA were to buy Bitcoin, it would full send. We'd all be driving Lambos. But an even bigger event, at least if you consider the recent dumpage with all the fear due to Mt. Gox and Germany dumping, is going to be the FTX payouts, because they have 16 billion to pay back to customers, but 12 billion of that amount is in cash. So you can imagine $12 billion being paid back to customers who are previous crypto investors who have potentially been sidelined as all of their spare money has been locked up into FTX. So they understand the market. They've maybe been watching it. Where do you think that money is going to flow? I think a good portion of it is probably going to flow into Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, but then into altcoins, and a big part into meme coins, as they're just going to want to gamble, right? You're going to want to put that money back into the casino, especially since in their mind that money was long gone with FTX. So TLDR, I'm still bullish on this cycle. I am not going anywhere. I have not sold anything. If anything, I am buying here. But I am definitely not panicking, even though, yeah, it sucks watching your portfolio get nuked. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, smash that bell notification. Thank you for watching Crypto Gorilla. Peace.